Okay, the November meeting of the Troy Planning Board will come to order. Will you stand, please? We'll have a pledge of allegiance. Ms. Dickinson, will you lead us, please? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Call the roll. Board Member Schufeld, absent. Board Member York.
Here.
Board Member Scully.
Here.
Board Member Dickinson. Board Member Keough here. We have a quorum. First item of business is approval of the minutes, the revised minutes of the September meeting. Has everyone had an opportunity to review them? Is
Yes,
there a motion?
there's a motion that we accept the minutes of last month's meeting,
September meeting.
September.
Yes.
I second that.
Yes.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. And the motion carries unanimously. Now we have the October minutes. Have you all had an opportunity to review them?
Yes,
Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the minute meetings of October.
Thank you. A second?
I'll second.
Discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The motion carries unanimously. Okay, so all of the business on the agenda tonight is old business, so we'll start with 2025-0054, 79 Brunswick Road. The applicant here? Yes, how are you doing?
Hi.
My name is Neil Pallone. I'm an architect representing the Catholic Diocese for 79 Brunswick Road. The applicant's hoping to demolish an existing residential building on their property that was previously used as a caretaker's residence.
Is that Mike?
Can you hear me? Is that better?
Yeah.
You want me to start over?
Right out of there if you'd like.
There we go.
Still
Do
not.
you want me to start over?
That's good. No, we heard you.
Okay.
Thanks.
The property has been dilapidated and in disrepair. They're hoping to take it down before it's any more of a nuisance or eyesore. Removing it will help improve the visual access off of Brunswick. That's what they'd like to
No,
do.
it's not going to be replaced with anything?
It is not.
Okay, any questions for the applicant?
No.
Okay. All right, thank you. We'll see if is there any member of the public who'd like to comment on this application? If not, we'll close the public hearing and we'll open it up to board discussion.
Is there anybody on Zoom?
Pardon me?
Anybody
Is
on
anyone
Zoom?
on Zoom? Okay. All right, any comments or questions by the board?
No.
What's that?
No.
So it's on before us for final approval. Is there a motion?
Like to move to give final approval to PLPB 2025-0054.
A second?
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
Should we call the roll individually? By acclamation or roll call?
If
We need to
you don't-
record the vote.
Yeah, maybe just call the roll.
Okay. Member Scully,
Aye.
Member Dickinson,
Aye.
Member York,
Aye.
Chairman Keough, yeah, aye. Motion carries unanimously. Good luck. I think we have a preliminary question with respect to 2023-0045, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so this has a history here, I guess, is because of the announced plans of the applicant, Mr. Corp Counsel, do we treat this as a new application?
I think this is a different project in scope and design. So I think must be treated as a new application.
All right,
It's just, all it really shares with the prior project is the same location.
okay.
I'm going to share my screen. Good evening, Board. My name is Greg O'Connor with Architecture Plus, representing Unity House.
Could you get a little closer to the mic too?
Yeah,
I'm having a
absolutely.
little trouble with that.
So-
Can we control the volume here at all?
Is that better?
Well, you can control the volume by
Yeah, it's just hard to see the
speaking louder and
screen. but-
closer, I guess.
So we presented this project back in May. The project is at 185 Earl Street. It's roughly a 500 square foot building with a 500 square foot addition. When we got into construction this late summer into fall, I found that the building was pretty much structurally compromised. We had a structural engineer come out and review the project, and it did become a safety issue for construction. So Unity House wanted to go back to the board to demolish the existing building and rebuild in similar kind in the same footprint with some minor adjustments to the previous approval. So overall, the site plan more or less stayed the same. We shifted pedestrian crosswalk crossing Earl Street down a little further south. Originally, we were coming through this existing guardrail. The building itself stepped back 6 inches. So this entire concrete walkway ramp is now on the entire parcel. Previously, the existing stair overlapped the property line, so we wanted to make sure we have everything on our property. So more or less, the square footage of the building has stayed the same. It's roughly 1,045 square feet. Previously, we did put the garbage in the rear of the building, and we were looking to do an easement agreement with the north property, which Unity House does own as well, to allow for garbage to be brought up front to the Earl Street for pickup by private company. Eric did send the staff notes. So there are a couple things that we do have to revise, including site lighting, pedestrian signage for, when you're crossing this sidewalk here. Obviously, we still need to get the garbage agreement with Unity House's private pickup, which is Casella. They have an agreement now currently with their property on 6th Street. They don't have an agreement yet with this. They do have a commitment letter that they were willing to give, but obviously we still need to get the agreement once it's the project is deemed to move forward.
Excuse me, what did you say about the easement? Did you mention the easement also?
Yeah, so Unity House still has to get they have to give themselves an easement for the property that they own on the north side.
Mhm.
So we just need to iron
But
that
it
out.
hasn't been done yet.
It's not- it's-
Is that the garages?
Yeah, and it's just so you guys are aware, that north garage that they did own, that was demolished through a permit. So that no longer exists on that north property.
Okay.
And then we did want to make some adjustments to the elevations of the building. Since it's being all brand new, we wanted to kind of match the existing character of the building to an extent, but with costs incurred with demolishing the existing building, we're looking to just do fiber cement siding, some trim details. There will be signage on the building up front, which we will be meeting city ordinances. The building will be a 2-story building now, will not have a basement, which it had originally. The other item just to note in the staff report was the 50% transparency on the first floor. Because the building is only roughly 25 feet wide, it's a little bit difficult to get the extent of glass in there to meet that.
But it can be, the transparency can be on any side of the building, right? To meet that requirement,
I believe it's public facing, so just the public facing street.
is it?
Is that correct? We do have a window on the north side of the property, but I don't believe I can account for that in that 50%. I think that was about it. Certainly open to questions, comments.
What is your calculation of the transparency percentage?
It's roughly 20%.
20?
Yeah.
Will they need a zoning variance for that? And it's also, was noted that there might be asphalt for sidewalks. Are you putting concrete sidewalks in?
Yeah, so we would do concrete sidewalks along this side. We can adjust that.
Okay, is Earl Street one way or two-way? Two-way?
It's a two-way.
It's a two-way. And the dark black that we're seeing there, is that the crosswalk?
Correct.
Okay. And I noticed that they recommend it slow for pedestrians. I think it should be, please stop for pedestrians.
We would follow whatever city requirement, but
We have to look at the specifics.
I guess the only issue with the seeking the variance for the 50%, we'd certainly be open to providing as much glass as possible on that first floor, just because it's right at street level. Does pose a kind of a security issue with vehicles driving back and forth. So obviously we'd like to minimize as much as possible where we can and keep it above the grade.
If I might, Greg, is that the same elevation that you submitted?
It's not, so yeah, this is.
So we haven't had a chance to review these elevations for the record.
Well, to increase it with that style building, it's gonna make it look a little odd, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to match what the original building was to an extent with a bunch of windows. Because it's kind of a teaching kitchen, it's not really retail. I know the code says 50%, but
Did I hear you say you're building on a slab or
yeah, slab on grade.
you're filling in the basement that was there?
Yep.
So you've seen the staff recommendations. Do you have any problem with any of those?
Just the urgency of moving the project forward. Obviously, it's
Pardon me?
just the urgency of moving the project forward since it's been delayed with the demolition issues. It's going towards the zoning variance for the
So
transparencies.
what do you expect tonight from us?
Would it be possible to have a conditional approval with modifications?
I guess
Project.
that's, I think gonna be a legal question here.
Yeah, I think they have to come back anyways. I'm treating as, I mean, you're tearing down the structure that was there and putting up a whole new structure on the site. So really, it's a new application. You can decide whether or not the application is complete. Though Eric mentioned that he hadn't reviewed these elevations, but I still think, I mean, subject to the staff review of the elevations, I think they've submitted quite a bit of material. They will have to go to zoning though for the variance. They should do that and then come back for a final approval here. That's our normal process.
And then if we did meet the requirement for the 50%, which we did a diagram just to represent what that potentially would look like. This is really only meeting 45% of that. But without seeking a variance, I guess it'd be impossible to
So
produce them on
Even,
glass.
even making the 25-foot clear mostly across except for the door, you're still not at 50%?
Yeah, with this diagram, when you're
So
counting,
that's not 50%?
it's 45%,
Really?
all the areas around it. Trying to be as accurate as possible.
So you do need a variance.
We would, but yeah, it's just the time frame that
Right.
Well, can we do anything about the transparency issue? It has to go.
No, that has to go to zoning.
That's
I
zoning.
mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, I can see why they want a variance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the design
definitely.
that you presented is, but it's nice for a residential building. It looks almost like Cape Lake, but yeah, I don't think we can do anything until we get that.
You could still consider the application complete. and
Yeah, you can do that.
Schedule a
And
hearing
schedule-
for
schedule
af-
for public
for
hearing.
after ZBA,
Okay.
continue on ZBA approval of variances.
So, basically the big items here are the variance, which is in your control, really.
Right.
And then, subject to
Eric has
zoning
to-
approval on the variance for the 50% light on the first floor. That's where we're at.
This might not be a question you could answer, but would it be possible to get on the next Board of Appeal agenda? I know that has passed, but
I believe the deadline Angie has is the 12th. Let me double check. Yeah, I'd reach out to Angelina, but I'm fairly certain that the deadline was last Wednesday. See if she can accommodate you, but I can't give it a guarantee.
It's up to her. I mean, it is a fairly simple application, so
right.
maybe she'll make an exception for you if you ask her nicely.
So, but we could say, hey, this is complete with the exception of these items, and then schedule a hearing.
Yes, for the next.
Right, that'd be the best we could do, I guess, yeah. I feel like we're on
Next available after they get the variance.
next available meeting after we get the variance, right?
Which potentially would be December, or at the earliest.
So Eric is going to be okay with looking at the,
Yeah, I just made note that he brought up an image that I hadn't seen. There was a different elevation submitted with his packet.
So is that the only real difference between what you submitted previously and your submission tonight?
Yeah,
Is
the
just
original
Is it just the streetscape, or is there anything else that Eric is gonna have to look at?
No, it's just a street
Just-
space. Yeah, it's
just
just still a
that, okay.
second story building.
Okay. Well,
Well, let's see if there's any public comment and then we
Okay.
can take some
Okay.
motions. Do you have anything further?
That's it.
Okay, thanks. We'll see if there's any public comment. Is there anyone here to speak with respect to this application? It looks like not, so we'll have a little board discussion here and see if there's any motions to be made.
For the record, I'd still call this a type 2 based on 617.5 C2 of the New York State seeker law. So, it wouldn't require to make any motions on seeker.
No motions this evening,
Seeker is not in play here.
but
They're reconstructing in place, so.
declare it complete though.
You could
Yes.
declare the application to be a type 2 if you wanted to. But yeah, you'll be reviewing the application for completeness. You could schedule a hearing.
So you might have a motion to declare type 2 for no further review required, environmental review required, and a motion to determine whether or not the application is complete.
So no further, motion with respect to no further environmental.
Review is required if it's a type 2.
Right.
so I guess, that's where I see it going here is type 2. We're gonna, and then I would propose that we condition the completeness on the submissions of the easement and the variance of the transparency on the ground floor, which I hope you get. So,
And the garbage servicing agreement. Do we-
right,
Well,
yeah, which is.
You can condition those if you schedule a public hearing in the actual approval as well.
Oh, even after we approve, we can still condition those things, so they couldn't go forward.
Yeah, but hopefully the
They wouldn't get a
applicant
CO.
has them
So-
ready by the time of the hearing
Right.
without you guys.
Yeah,
conditioning it.
I would create this list of
You don't
things
have
that
to
you'd like
condition
to
the
see.
hearing itself.
And then they can come back for their final hearing with these items
Right,
sort of updated. So I don't know that you'd need to condition anything this evening.
okay,
We use the term application complete, but like things
Right.
can still change and be modified and
right,
added.
they're
prior
not
to-
getting approval even though we, move
Yeah.
to make the.
Just means it's application is complete enough to expect
Right.
the hearing.
Right,
So is there first a secret motion?
yeah, I'd like to move to, call this a type 2 action or seeker. There's no environmental impact.
Second,
I'll second.
I know.
any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimously. Another motion?
I'd like to make a motion to declare the application complete.
Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Thank you. Discussion on the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Do you want to schedule the hearing?
Motion for a public
Yes.
Yeah,
So
December.
we'll do the motion to schedule a public hearing at the next meeting, presuming
December 16th.
zoning
December
issues
16th.
have been resolved.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we move to have this at a public hearing on December 16th.
I second that motion.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you.
You all set, Joe?
Yeah, I was gonna share this.
Call 2025-0038, 15 to 25 4th Street. Sketch plan and concept review.
Good evening, Joe
Good evening.
Hannibal with the Environmental Design Partnership. Here on behalf of RJ Valente Companies, our application for Bella Vita Apartments, which is a 196 unit apartment building.
Joe, can you just put the microphone up? I would probably just pull it out.
How about that?
That's good.
All right.
That's
Thanks.
better.
All right, so we got a 196 unit apartment building to be located at the location of former Uncle Sam's parking garage. We were last in front of this board in September, in which there were some comments raised by the board related to some of the architectural features of the building. There was a lot of discussion about the disposition of Museum Place adjacent to the hotel. There was conversation about the colonnades or the piers that were into the street right away, among some other things. So we did take that information. We went back to the drawing board. We shrunk the footprint of the building. There's no longer encroachments into the right of way from the colonnades extending into the street. So we don't need to worry about that anymore. We also had a meeting here at City Hall with the owners of the adjacent hotel to the north and Museum Place. And we came to an agreement that Museum Place will remain. We're providing, I think, 13 parking spaces along what is known as Museum Place for use by the hotel. And then we're also doing some minor modifications on the hotel property to help out with circulation and number of curb cuts to be able to minimize conflict points. So we were able to work that out. We also, the architects went back and completed some additional elevations, which were submitted to the board. We also have some perspective views now that I'll be sharing with the board shortly. Fire apparatus, we provided on the plan. See, this area here, we have added stair access from 3rd Street. That will give you direct access to the courtyard on the 2nd floor of the building. That was something that
You
emergency.
mean 4th Street?
3rd,
Oh, no, 3rd. Okay. They're in this oriented area. All right.
confused me there.
It gives you access to what, did you say?
The courtyard that is located on the 2nd floor of the building. So the way the project is set up, pointed out, the entire footprint of the site is generally covered by the 1st floor, which is a 1st story parking garage. On top of the parking garage, this dashed line outlines the 4 stories that are above the parking garage. This area here, and we'll show you in one of the renders, is designated as a courtyard outdoor amenity space. It's about 20 to 25% of the site, which we're looking to do some types of sports courts, outdoor picnic areas, green space, trees growing. We're using that area of the site as our pervious area. So there will be essentially a green roof, if you will say, for a portion of it to meet the 15% pervious requirement by the code. Definitely had to get creative to try and meet 15% pervious on a site that's 100% impervious when we started. But that's what we came up with for that. We have on the basement, I'm showing another view, 236 parking spaces. That's essentially 1 space for every bedroom within the building. We have bike storage area for nearly 80 long-term secure storage bike parking. And then we have just shy of 50 short-term, which is basically outdoor bike racks parking for the facility.
Will they be on your property or on the right of way?
They will be on our property. Beginning here. So this is looking at the building. We're standing across the street, looking at the building on 4th Street, centered where you see the 19 on the building. This is the primary entrance to the residence, their lobby area, parking garage entrance on 4th Street as well. And we're also proposing a coffee shop with an outdoor dining experience located on 4th Street. The colonnades, you can see, was a feature that we wanted to keep. However, we did shrink the building and push them out of the right of way. So we do have some covered and uncovered outdoor dining spaces.
Does that continue around?
Yes,
The design? The colonnades setback?
yes.
Before you go off this slide, is that the white building to the left? Is that the coffee shop area?
This here,
No, the white, well, yes, right.
so
No,
this is the coffee shop. This is on our property. It's on our frontage on 4th Street.
I'm just interested in the windows on that white building to the left. Yes. Is that windows all the way down to the street?
No, so this, if you look in it, these are columns.
Oh, okay.
And then the facade of the building set about 10 feet back from there.
What's back there? Nothing?
So behind that is the coffee shop that's set in.
Behind behind the piers or the colonnades is the coffee shop?
Correct. Basically,
But is
this.
it, what is it, a window or there's a wall there, I assume? The coffee shop's not outdoors, is it?
Right. So if you look, you can see windows looking into there. It's basically a commercial storefront on the street, set back in behind the colonnades to give that.
But are you pointing to the the red brick style building or the white building? next to
So
that?
it's basically from here to about here
Uh-huh.
is the coffee shop. It's not just set into just the white building.
Okay, I'll look at the floor plan.
So to be clear, we have sidewalk, that's city sidewalk. Then you have the colonnades and that's a walkway that's kind of got a roof over it, let's say.
Yes,
That's your sidewalk.
Yep.
And then the storefront setback, along there. So
correct.
Yeah, well, what I'm getting at is what I didn't like about this when it was presented was it seemed like, that whole street, not only that street, but the museum street side and the 3rd Street side and what is that? What's the next street? Broadway? Or
Fulton.
Fulton. It all seemed like, very unfriendly territory for pedestrians. There was nothing there except for blank walls all around the whole project. So, I mean, if you have a coffee shop there, I guess that's an island where people could escape into if they need to, but what else is going on on any side of this building as far as, inviting the community in and making it an amenity for the community rather than kind of just a fortress that keeps the community out.
So it's not designed to keep the community out, but it is a private building and the first
I
floor
understand,
is-
but I'm talking more about the feel of it.
Right, and by doing that, I mean, this is the streetscape on Fourth Street. To me, this is extremely inviting for the community to utilize this frontage. We have the shop front appearance, we have shop fronts, we have storefronts, we have outdoor dining experience. I'm not sure
No, it's
how
better.
much more we could do.
It's
than that.
better. I wish you could think of some novel use for some of that space other than parking on the ground level,
So we.
I know commercial there's not much need for that, but I wish there was something you could think of to make it more interactive with the community.
I mean, I'm not sure with what we need to do for the building and provide
Understand.
parking spaces.
Understand.
There's really not, room left. However, there is portions of the code and the way the building is set up that the first 30 feet around the building in the future, as we look at future development, cars become less in demand and we get more and more foot traffic and more downtown. If there's not a demand for that parking, there's the opportunity on Fulton Street, not so much on Museum Place because it's not really public frontage over there, but on Fulton Street where additional commercial storefronts that do bring people into the community could ultimately be established in the future. They're not part of the plan. We're not proposing this part of the plan. We were told at a lot of the public meetings, we do not need any more commercial storefront shop fronts in this area.
Yeah.
We don't need any more empty ones.
Well, they haven't done
Right.
anything with
So,
Tri-Record.
I think
There's
that,
nothing
you
in
know,
Tri-Record.
what we're kind of talking about and some of the information that's been sent to us, which I don't know if you've seen or not, but the first floor, activating the first floor of the building, instead of making Fulton Street all of a sudden a no man's land on that one side, even though you have this great setback with the columns, which is cool. Yeah, that's all right. But all you're going to see is parked cars at the first floor level when you walk by. That's going to create a kind of a desert, right, going across there. Now, I understand there isn't a demand for, the commercial space. But I don't know if, some brilliant architects could come up with a way so that we don't end up with a dead zone on that sidewalk.
So, I mean, what we have, this is the Fulton Street frontage here.
Sure.
There
That's
is
so that's the corner of Fulton and Third.
Fulton and Fourth. Here's our
Fulton
coffee
and
shop.
Wait,
Fourth Street is running this way.
I got you.
Fulton Street's
Got
coming
you,
down
okay.
into the site that way.
Got you.
So this is where we come around Fourth Street, wrap around, and this is the proposal for the frontage. So it's not parked cars. There is there's a building wall there. There is a facade. There is grading. There's vegetation growing on there.
But there's no
There's-
activity. So, and if I was cold and I needed a place to sleep, that might be a good place to sleep.
Well, it's something we can look into. It is not part of our proposal to create
I
shelters.
understand.
Put some,
on
I
put some
understand.
heaters
That's why we're
up
here.
there.
Yeah.
I don't see that working with this site plan.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
bringing
see
it
it
up
working
because
with this
I'm bringing it up because, this is obviously we want the project, obviously, everybody wants the project and we want to do the best job we can. And looking forward, what if, you're saying, what if in the future there's more demand? Well, that's great. But in the short run, what if there isn't demand? And we end up on Fulton Street with a parking garage on the first floor and these great apartments above. The community, it's important that we continue activating the streetscapes as much as possible all around the city. And we've done a great job. And if you look at Fulton Street right now, it's finally activated. There's things going on Fulton Street that weren't there before, and people doing apartments and restaurants and things like that. So the downtown is expanding that way as a foot traffic area, whereas the Uncle Sam garage previously wasn't so much. But I can say that right now, it's a dark area right now, but that seems like an attraction for people to hang out outside of the weather when there's nothing really positive to give us other than a view of the cars. Is there a way we can screen the cars differently or activate it differently?
So there, as I was saying, there is screening associated with this.
So we can still see into the parking garage?
If you're walking up to this mesh screen, if you will, and looking into it from a few feet away, yes, you will be able to see the cars. Walking down the street, you're going to see more of a black screen with some vegetation and plants we're trying to establish and grow there. And as you see, we have the plant hangers. We don't have street lights shown on here, but there are street lights. We have tree planters that are shown on the site plan in the sidewalks to create a green environment as we are going down the street. I hear what you're saying. We can talk with the owners.
Yeah, I think
see
that,
what they
you know,
can do.
this is still a back and forth. You still have some things that you have to do anyway. So, you know, this is our opportunity to kind of present some of the comments that we have or that were presented to us. You know, and continue this going forward. You know, I think that you've done some things that are better than the last submittal, the last presentation. You know, we're all on the same page. We want a great project here, and we want to be successful for you too. So that's all we're doing. That when we ask about where, you know, where's the coffee shop, you know, that's all we're doing. We're just asking these questions. We're not demanding you do anything. We're just saying this is the way we see things. Maybe this is an issue we should talk about. That's all.
Understood, and we'll take it under advisement.
Good.
Is there any entrance to the apartments on the Fulton Street side?
Yes. Yep, and that's right here in this area. This will give you access to the parking garage and an elevator. I believe it's about 2/3 of the way down Fulton Street, closer to 3rd from 4th. Show that on the site.
That'll be access controlled, I assume, for the tenants.
Correct. Yeah, the parking garage is completely key coded access. That's also where the secure storage is for the bikes and trash removal there as well. This is another perspective. This is looking at the intersection of Museum Place is on the left and 3rd Street is on the right. This gives our first glimpse of the 2nd floor courtyard area, which is one of the outdoor amenity spaces for the community. You can also see in the center wing of the building on the 5th floor, there's an outdoor rooftop area as amenity space for the residents of this community.
So is that 3rd and Museum Place that we're looking at?
Correct. This is Museum Place, where we do have an entrance to the building located in this column. The parallel parking, this is the hotel parking in this location.
So we're looking from the top of that red building, we would actually be looking out over Riverfront Park.
Correct.
Okay.
This is the facade facing Riverfront Park.
Okay.
We also have, and it's CDTA bus blocking it. There is an entrance to the parking garage centered on that street.
Is that the only entrance on that side of on 3rd Street?
Correct.
Is the parking garage?
Correct.
Where's the staircase that you said goes up to the?
It's hard to see it here, but it is shown on the plans. It is in this location over here.
Yeah, and is that going to be controlled access also?
Absolutely. So this is back over on Museum Place on the right and 4th Street on the left. Again, primary facade, primary entrance to the building, Museum Place, entrance to the building here. This would be the facade facing the hotel and on 4th Street. One thing I want to point out, the first floor in this corner of the building is call it a shop front, but it is being set up for utilization by the CDTA bus drivers on breaks. When they come back from their routes, they have 10, 15 minutes. It's essentially a break room, bathroom, for them to utilize. So that is something we are doing for the community there.
Can I ask you about this courtyard for a minute? So I assume it's not covered, correct? So, I mean, I think the experience that I've seen around Troy, whenever anybody's tried to create that kind of a outdoor space, it's good for about 3 months and then it's a problem for the rest of the year. And usually it deteriorates and is unused and all that stuff. Is that, I mean, this, your tenants are going to be using this, right?
Correct.
What are they going to do there in the winter time?
You know, that's something to be talking about. Are we going to have
Skating rink.
heated sidewalks? Are we going to have
Skating rink.
probably not?
I mean, I've seen so many, I don't think our climate really is very conducive to that kind of thing and use it.
Well, I'd hate to get rid of it. I think it's
Well, it's
quite
nice
an
in the
attractive
summertime.
amenity overlooking the Riverview Park and the
Yeah.
Hudson River.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we want it as an amenity space. We think it's a great asset
Yeah.
to the project. I would
So I guess we
really
have to,
hesitate to get rid of it.
So
have
wait,
to determine the future of pickleball, wouldn't we?
yeah, right.
Can we use something that would go
Pickleball.
longer than?
So that courtyard, you just said seeing Riverfront Park. Did I miss something? How would you see the park from the courtyard?
It's this way.
It's
The
behind.
portion
Have you got a floor
facing the rivers,
floor
the open.
plan view?
So this view here, this is Third Street.
Oh, so that's
This is Riverview Park.
So it's-
Courtyard is right here.
okay.
So that all of the units are set up, or a good portion of them, with this angled, I don't know, angled portion of the building. So the units themselves have river views associated with them. And then the courtyard and the amenity space and the fifth story rooftop all have views of the river and Riverview Park.
So basically that is a C-shaped structure?
Yes.
Almost like an
E.
E, yeah.
So back to Peter's point about and Jim's the pickleball courts, because that's what they actually look like. Would there be consideration to cover those? Because I mean, the majority of the year, the weather is not conducive to pickleball. And that court probably doesn't get used. It probably gets wrecked from the weather. So would there be a thought of maybe some sort of a covering, a way to cover that, you know, so that it can be used also?
I'm not gonna say no.
Mhm.
Definitely something we can look into it. It makes sense. I don't know what the expense of trying to do a temporary cover or a permanent cover.
Mhm.
Permanent cover, I think, is going to hinder some of the views of the building from the height we're gonna need. I think you'd start blocking the third story view with it, but it's definitely an interesting concept. And then, you know, we're not saying it's going to be pickleball courts.
Okay.
You know, we're showing some amenity space. Right now, pickleball is the hottest thing. I think there's senior citizens having fistfights at pickleball courts for getting more time at them right now. So, but, you know, we do want to have an active amenity space associated with this project.
So in the wintertime, would it be possible to put like gas heaters, you know, the tall gas heaters out there, or maybe have gas fire pits, or, you know, stuff like that where it gets, you know, could use them in the spring, could definitely use them in the fall. Don't know what you do in dead of winter, but, you know, give them a little bit month here, month there on either end to be able to use that area by putting out some
I'm sure if the
gas heaters and,
fire department will allow that, it's something we would definitely include within the plans.
So that brings up a question. I mean, it's a pretty good sized project. I love it. You know, I think it's great for the city. You know, have you done any kind of research on where you're going to be with what the tenants actually would want in that space? I mean, we've got a lot of parking, that's for sure. Some other buildings are going with even less parking. 40% of the people who live in the news have no parking, no car. They're not driving cars. Have you done any, is there any market research? You know, there are people saying, I want a pickleball court, or I want a grill. I mean, you know, I think it would be up to the tenants and you guys to decide what activates that courtyard.
Yeah, 100%.
To your benefit.
Right, and I don't want to say like, again, what's on this plan today,
Yeah.
that outdoor amenity space is
Right.
going to be an evolving area
Right.
as it is with any amenity space in any community.
I agree.
You know, if your tenants come to you and they want to have a tetherball court thrown out there, then all of a
I
sudden.
guess the
there's a
question
tetherball.
is, have you done any, have you gotten any feedback from the people who would be likely to rent these types of apartments? I think they're beautiful, by the way.
Essentially, they're, I'd say no from an amenity standpoint.
Okay,
However, knowing the market we are looking at in the buildings that have gone up in various communities and the amenities associated with them that are successful, that's what we're basing what we will at least be starting with in those amenity spaces.
so you mean like Starbuck Island has a wine store? I mean, that would be an amenity to the tenants, maybe, I don't know.
Could be.
But, so that was just a question, how far along are you with that type of thing? I mean, we definitely want your apartments to be 100% full.
So
you know,
do we.
And yeah, it would be, it'd be awful if that doesn't happen. The question is, have you gotten any feedback from people who would be likely to rent this type of thing? Or have you done any research on an inner city development like this that would, what do people want?
Right. And again, it's based on experience at this point of
Okay,
the similar style projects in different cities, different suburban areas. The clientele that we would expect living here will have cars and likely will be commuting to a job or potentially working from home in their home offices, as that's seems to
Right.
continue to grow in popularity. So we've looked at those projects. We looked at the demographic that we believe is going to be renting at these locations. And we looked at similar projects and the amenities, the parking associated with them. And that's how we've come to the initial ideas of what we want to do in those spaces.
gotcha.
Can you share with us what that is? Is it going to be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3?
So it's
students?
a mix of studios, 1 bedroom, 1 bedroom dens, and 2 bedrooms.
And do you have a price range in mind yet?
Haven't established that yet. Obviously, it's going to be a market rate driven. That lot goes into the pricing, cost of the building, return, through mortgages and lenders. And
A max 2 bedroom, is it?
yes,
Yes.
And is that, on that corner, it looks like all glass. Is that stairway or is that part of a residence?
those are part of the residence.
Wow.
And the same on the other corner of that same building?
Correct, and on the other tower.
Oh, it's a lot of glass.
It is.
Yeah. You do, I notice you have Studio A, Studio B. What is the difference between your A and B?
Honestly, I
You're not even
can't tell the
getting in
difference.
that.
I'm assuming it's a square footage difference, a
Okay.
slight square
Yeah.
footage difference. I don't have the detail on that.
Okay.
See, is this a change from the last presentation? Is the Cornish? It looks like the elevation, I'm not saying this is a negative. I'm just saying, is this a difference from your last presentation? How the Cornish goes around and how the building is going in and out? Was that there before? Just, or is that as a result of our prior comments?
It has changed,
Okay.
Based on some of the comments and
Right.
and the materials. I think our last presentation had much less brick. We've added a lot more brick. We've
Love it.
added more glass. We've changed the materials on the cornice, amplified the depth and the fenestration along the cornices.
So the courtyard, going back to that, obviously, these are suggested colors. You have white. The sun really beats on that area in the summertime. I mean, Riverfront Park gets unbearable when there's rocking on the river sometimes. Has the environment that way, not the environment that you're affecting, but the environment as it affects you, has that taken into consideration there? I mean, that pickleball court could be 100 degrees. And
As we all know, it
old
can-
people, you don't want them, we don't want the ambulance to go get the old people.
Yeah, understood. There are pergolas shown in that area to create some shade. If shading is going to
I think more green, more trees, those types of things are, definitely helpful with all of that. Yeah,
So, I mean, we are proposing vegetation, greenery, pergolas, sun becomes an issue, shade sails, those
Triangular things. yeah.
triangular, square shapes. There's a bunch of different
right.
ways to do that as well. You know,
Now-
this is a western view.
Yeah,
It's not a southern view, so we are going to get the late afternoon sun and hopefully some excellent sunsets as well.
you will. And some days it's going to be extremely hot. Yeah, and the rest of the year it's going to be, like, thank God. Yeah, but the pervious. So this is above the parking garage, all of this. And we're saying we're trying to meet 15% pervious. How is that physically going to work? I mean, you're not going to the city stormwater sewer with the pervious, correct? How are we making that pervious?
So, are you familiar with like a green roof design?
Got it.
So
Okay.
there is this is going to be.
So it kind of just settles into the soils.
Settles into the soils, settles
That you
into the
put
filter
there.
media.
Right.
There is an overflow in connection to the city sewers
Right.
as
Okay.
that is required over the structure. But that is, essentially these green areas will infiltrate, the plants will take up the water, reduces the amount of storm water that ultimately ends up in the city and into the river.
Good.
Could you go back to the view of the looking up Third Street?
Know when to stop.
There was a previous, that one right there. So maybe not that one.
That is third,
No, that's not.
that is not this one.
Yeah, that one. So isn't there quite a change in grade from, say, Museum Place up to Fulton Street?
Yes.
And what goes on in your building with respect to that change in grade?
So in this area of the site, our sidewalk grade is about 2 to 3 feet below the finished floor of the building. And when we get up to the intersection of Fulton and Third, the sidewalk is actually like 2 to 3 feet above the finished floor of the building. And right in the middle is where we have our center access point, which is essentially
So
at grade.
The car access to the garage is on Third Street and Fourth Street because of the grade, basically?
Yes, yep. We looked at grades and determined what were the best spots for vehicular access and pedestrian access.
So that 3 or 4 foot difference on the north side, is that a slab then, or what, or is there another space below ground there, or is it a slab at the 3 foot level, basically?
It'd be essentially a slab at the 3 foot level with essentially the exterior walls are extended lower
Yeah.
in that area.
Gotcha.
Chair, can I ask? Yeah. Have you made any provision or given any thought to snow removal with respect to the courtyard?
Again, that's where we potentially were talking about heated sidewalks to melt the snow. And then the green areas would remain covered in snow. So that I'm not saying that's 100% the way we're going. There's an expense associated with that. But that is one of the elements that we are looking at. And also, if we're looking at a lot of pervious surfaces, like a pervious or porous pavement, many times those are the first areas to melt just by natural sunlight. And you don't get ice buildup. They melt themselves right down into the ground.
So, bigger picture question is, we're going into winter. How do you see yourself working your way through the things that you still have to do? How do you see us getting to the point where we have an agreement and approval? Is the construction scheduled to start early spring? Is that the plan?
Construction is scheduled to start as soon as we get approval.
Winter?
Our next step is we have developed a full set of engineer drawings
Mhm.
for the site work associated with this. We will be submitting them next week to come in for a December meeting. We are hoping at that point in time that the application is deemed complete and we can start the coordinated review and then come back after 30 days. And I believe it's probably going to be February by the time we get through that 30-day process and come back to this board in February. The other thing that we need to talk about is we're talking a lot about the architecture and the style of the building. There was a question if this does need to go to the Historic Design Commission and what needs to be, what this board is going to recommend for them to look at in addition to their normal review. Those two elements. A lot of the other elements based upon the staff review letters, we are very comfortable that we're going to have that included with this next submission. We haven't started engineering review of the site. I'm not sure if Chris is going to do that or if there's going to be a third party review associated with that, but I'm assuming that occurs once the application is deemed complete. So we're hoping to come back in December and have the application deemed complete.
Ambitious.
Been working on it for a while already.
Yeah.
On Joe, on your 4th Street where your coffee shop is going to be, you said there was store frontage. Are you going to have stores?
So the shop front appearance, we're saying a coffee shop. Maybe it's going to be a different commercial.
Bagels. You need a bagel shop.
You got to go to New York to get bagels. So, but basically half of the frontage is storefront for the coffee shop.
Okay.
The rest of the frontage is lobby, amenity space associated with the residential use, but need to look again like a storefront.
Anything else, folks? You've seen the staff recommendations. Do you have any problem with any of those? It's preliminary anyways. I know.
I don't. I do want to talk to Eric a little bit about, I started touching on it, that 30-foot comment, 30-foot reserve parking area. I think that's what I addressed with the future, in the idea of the future that can be converted to commercial. But I guess I needed to, I'll give you a call on that and we can get a little more clarity on what you're referring to. There wasn't a code reference, so I was having a hard time.
I think it was reference to the front side setback for parking zone. But let's jump on a call tomorrow, this week, and kind of go over the detail.
Yeah, I'd like to get the architect, his heads, because this is more of a building when you get into that level of detail. So we're trying to make sure that we're meeting that. We do need some variance or waiver from it.
Sure.
We certainly want to know that. Other than that, I think we're in great shape. The traffic demand management plan was submitted, albeit late. I thought it was prior submitted, but we did do a full traffic demand management plan. Many letters in there. So that is submitted. It talks about required bike parking, required parking for the building, what the recommended parking for this use is. Gets into some of the statistical elements, so that will be able to be reviewed by the board at the next meeting.
Okay, and you have EV for the
So
electric cars?
we are EV ready. We have to work with the city because we only have indoor parking. Having indoor parking has been a potential fire hazard.
Yeah.
So we got to work with the fire department. They may not permit it.
Gas is not.
All right, well, thank you for your helpful presentation, I think. So we'll see if the public has any comments. No, thank you.
Thank you.
And see you back December, maybe. Tony?
Where are the tenants going to be moving in and out from?
It's a good question. I guess it depends what type of vehicle they are bringing to move in and out.
Right,
There
I mean-
are 3 elevators, 3 entrances to the building.
But would
3
they,
elevators are accessed from either the external street, Fulton, Museum, or 4th Street. And And then all of them also have access from the parking garage.
Parking garage. So your elevators are big enough for all the furniture and the height of your parking will be high enough for,
I don't know
Big
that we're
box
getting a
truck.
Mayflower truck coming into the parking garage. That is something they may have to do temporary parking on the street or loading or in parallel parking spaces, have a loading zone associated with them.
okay.
For larger vehicles.
And in your garage, you don't have to do any excavation. You're just throwing down.
I think we're actually going to be filling some of the areas, the existing ground closest to museum and Third is actually below the floodplain elevation. So we are going to be raising that corner of the building up to make sure the parking is out of.
Joe, I got a question from a representative from CDTA. He asks, did you say that if there was a dedicated CDTA driver break room?
Yes.
He was wondering if you could point that out or elaborate on it a little bit.
Sure. So start with its location first. Share a different screen, I guess.
So where will they park the buses for them to go use the break room? On the street?
I think just as they're doing now. So we have 4th Street, Fulton Street, 3rd Street. This corner of the building is where the dedicated break room is. Zoom in on it.
On the Fourth Street side or the Third Street?
4th and Fulton.
And Fourth.
Yeah, that's across from the bus stop.
Pardon me?
That's across from the bus stop.
No, but
Fourth and
no,
Is it Museum
where they
Place?
park now is on Third Street.
Third, yeah.
So
Mostly
They
they
park,
There's another-
they park between Dinosaurs and the Uncle Sam Monument.
there's also a CDTA stop.
There is
on
another stop on the
Fourth
Fourth
Street.
Street side on, next to Mr. Lee's, I guess.
that was
yes.
our understanding of what was agreed upon location. If we can move it to other corners of the building, we have access to that.
I always
this-
see the buses parked all along that strip on the Third Street side. I don't really see them on Fourth Street.
Yeah,
But
that's just a
CDTA should know, I guess.
Yeah, we can work with CDTA and like I say, we have the ability to move it to a couple different corners of the building. If that
It,
makes more sense.
it might be more logical at Museum and Third. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do they access that? Do they have a,
So they have an exterior door directly in and it's essentially a bathroom is what is going in.
I'm
That-
wondering if it's open to the public or if they have a
it's
key,
not
a
open
key
to the
card.
public.
They have like a key pass or something.
Haven't got into that level of detail or they're gonna have a punch code or something like that. CDTA is secure.
We're not getting any of this on the recording here, I
So-
don't think so.
What Dean is saying, Dean is a representative of RJ Valente, is that we have shown these drawings to CDTA. They're working with us on the design. They are going to be running the security system for that. They're gonna have their own, they're gonna wire it, we're gonna build it, but we're gonna meet their specs so that they have control over the entire area.
And this is complimentary to CDTA or they have to pay for it? I think you said it was a community benefit.
I believe it is complimentary as part of the agreement.
Okay. Anything else
One-
from?
One more question. With regard to the scheduling again, where are you at with your variances right now?
As of right now, I don't know that we need any. There's a couple that have just been, I don't know if there are actually variances listed.
Well, I would probably conduct a more full-scale review once I have the full set of documents to submit.
Okay.
So
That
we don't
answers
believe there are any, but
Okay.
if there is, we may have to make some modifications.
Okay.
Garbage locations. How are you handling garbage?
Sure. So what we identified at the previous meeting,
In the CDTA Drivers Lounge. They're not there that often. so.
so the entire building has trash chutes to this location where there are trash and recycling compactors. Those carts will then be rolled out to the Third Street side and picked up by the hauler. And then brought back in by staff of the building.
So is there staff going to be there 5 days a week as like their job sitting in an office or?
I don't know the detail on that, but I'm sure there is going to be a staff person on site most of the time.
Okay, anything further?
Joe, you plan to, the applicant plans to maintain ownership of Museum Place and maintain it and snowplow it?
That's a good question. So they do own it. My understanding is currently the city may actually be maintaining it, which makes no sense because it's all private.
Some things are
But it
grandfathered
may
in.
be an agreement between the city, the hotel, and the owner of this building. That's a detail that if we need to get more clarity on, we can certainly work through that.
Is that a city street right now?
It had, I believe it had CDTA ownership and then it's been, and then
I don't believe anything
the
about it.
applicant has ownership.
I'm not sure I'm not sure it was ever properly abandoned or anything. So I wasn't around for, I know, well, I don't know anything. About it. I don't know if CDTA thought they owned it or.
Rick, as of this month, it shows in our system that it's under new ownership, under their LLC. I believe that.
But I don't know. I don't know what our system is based on. I know that there's a specific state laws regarding how you abandon a right of way. And
Right. Was it a
if it's
right
not-
of way or was it a city street?
Well, a city street is a right of way. Right of way is more general term.
Right.
And I just don't know the status of Museum Place, really. I haven't done a lot of research on it. But it may have been properly abandoned. It may have been eminent domain by CDTA. I don't know. I
It's
mean,
never been a real street.
I haven't, and it may never have been a real street. I don't know. It somehow got the name Museum Place. though,
But
so.
as of right now, you guys have title to what was Museum Place. Is that
Yes,
right?
correct.
Okay.
We own that portion of land and it wasn't even really, it wasn't a right of way. It was kind of had some jagged edges and it didn't look like a 50, 60-foot street right of way. So
But you've probably done a title search and, work enough to know that you do have title to the property.
yes,
Okay.
Have you been in talks with the owners of the hotel about access easements for their parking areas and off of Third Street and or
we actually had a very good meeting here at City Hall and I see several of the representatives of the hotel are here. I'm sure they can speak to the results and outcome of that meeting, but we thought it was very positive.
Anything further, gentlemen? Board? Okay, all right, thank you. Members of the public would like to speak, please come on up, identify yourself and give us your thoughts on this project.
Good evening all, Stephen Maples, South Troy. Just for the benefit of the applicant, I'm just going to basically just bring up the things that I emailed you all earlier today, but basically that the parking shall be accessed from an alley where such exists. And maybe we don't know exactly what, if the Museum Place counts as an alley.
I'm sorry, can you talk up a little bit?
Sure, yeah, I'll do my best. So we may not know exactly what an alley is constituted, but between the zoning code and the comprehensive plan, it makes it very clear that the entrances to structured parking should be not happening on the north-south routes. Section 7.1 talks about private underground structure parking will be located interior to the development sites such that it is not visible from the street, and access to the underground and structure parking should generally occur on east-west streets only. So we have some guidance there. We're still in the early stages, so I think that the applicant has like plenty of opportunity to, incorporate that into their design, as well as as several of the members of the board were talking about, activating that ground floor, particularly as it pertains to Riverfront Park, which again, in our comp plan, it talks about activating specifically that side of this property. Talking about, it says commercial uses will be required at grade along River Street to help animate Riverfront Park. I think, commercial or community uses, I think would be more or less interchangeable there, just because it's about activating that space. That's the purpose of that. So I'd love to see this project incorporate those elements, and love to see others. I'm very happy that the board is also keying on these like similar type of things. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak?
Anybody on Zoom?
Hello, Elizabeth Rodriguez. I live at 1986 15th Street. I'm a local architect. TAP did submit comments to you earlier in the day, and I think you're taking them to heart. And I just felt compelled to speak because this is such a big project and we really should have more people giving input into it. The previous person's comment about the drives being on the side streets is a particularly good one that we didn't talk about in our letter. And I do want to say that I do appreciate that they want to build such a large, impressive project here in Troy, and that we have this sketch plan conference to refine it and make it better. And that the owner would like to make it a legacy project. I think that's wonderful. And I see some improvements in it. I just want to mention that the colonnade has been cut off now by parts of the building popping out. So what was a colonnade is now two kind of recessed areas, which I think lend themselves to what you were talking about, Member Scully, that's a great place for somebody to shelter in bad weather. So I love the idea of a colonnade. If there is a colonnade, I'd like to see it continuous, a place that somebody could see down the whole length of it and not provide corners for people to shelter in. And this idea of having commercial spaces or community spaces, some sort of spaces on the ground floor, on the perimeter of the building is really important. This is a once in a generation opportunity for this site. The parking garage got it totally wrong, except for there was a McDonald's there, which did bring a lot of traffic in back in the day. But it seems like even if these are tiny spaces that they give to not-for-profits for a small rate or small storefronts, that's only good for their tenants to be able to walk on the street that surround their building and have this flow of people coming and going for different businesses. So I think it's really important that there be more activity at street level for the building. It seems like there's way too much parking. I'm hoping that the TDMP supports less parking, and that you will have a chance to review this again once you have the TDMP in hand. I don't know if they have to go to zoning or not for any of what they're proposing right now. That's it. I just thought I should say something. It's too big of a project to not have a discussion about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Well, if not, we'll close the public hearing. Do you want further discussion? Or
Excuse me, I had a hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody.
Didn't see that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's okay. That's okay. It's Barb Nelson. I'm sorry I'm not present. And Lisa pretty much made the points which TAP has brought to you. I'm hoping that the board has been able to take a look at the sketch and the letter that I submitted just this morning. But for the benefit of the public, losing just 20, sacrificing just 20 parking spaces would double and greatly improve the amount of, kind of storefront space. I know that retail is very hard to fill, and we don't want more empty storefronts. So there's an easy way to solve that: make it very, very cheap. and this becomes kind of an obligation or responsibility of the owner to assure that we have enlivened and vibrant streets with storefronts with lights on. They could be small startups. They could be, maybe the Red Cross wants an outreach component, maybe a student club from RPI. It could be anything. It could be artists, that are painting or sculpting, or it just to have lights on at street level. That's what makes it safe. That's what makes me want to walk down a street. And I think this observation that these kind of indented areas with the colonnade, these are very attractive places for people who have no shelter, to hide from the snow, to be behind a column, and that also discourages people from walking by. One point I don't think anybody's made, and this may surprise you, but I like the idea that we can see through the building to the parking. There are people getting in and out of their cars. There are lights in the parking lot. So it is a form of activity, but it's not enough. It's not commercial storefronts. But I'm just a little concerned about the lighting. If the lighting in the parking garage is glaring white fluorescent, then all these beautiful renderings, you're gonna see that glaring white fluorescent light coming out of all of those green walls, which we hope something green will grow on them. So I'd like some special attention paid to the quality and the color of the lighting in the parking garage, because that is going to be, I presume that's going to be on all night. All right, so those are my comments. Thank you very much. I hope you get a chance to take a look at the sketch I gave you. In particular, there are some parking spaces at the northeast corner, which are just dangerous to pull out of. You'd be pulling in and out of the spaces as someone is pulling in and out of the garage. So those are easy giveaways. And I think your bike storage is too small. That's also another opportunity to have glass windows to the street, lights on inside, people coming and going with their bikes. Because people who live in a city, sometimes they have a cart, sometimes they have a stroller, sometimes they, maybe some small lockers to keep your helmet in and your basket to go to market, that kind of thing. So there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Barb.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else?
Nobody on Zoom.
Okay, so do you want any further discussion, or there's no action to be taken tonight, so move on?
Yeah, I think we can move on. General comments are that, pretty exciting project. I think that, the input we've had so far is all positive, really. And that's something to congratulate all of us on. I think.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, so next item, I think, is 2024-0021. (1987) 15th Street.
Got lots of staff report recommendations on this.
Good evening, planning board members and our neighbors. Good evening.
You have to speak up. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Good evening, planning board members and our neighbors. I'm Linda Yu, the owner of the property 1987 15th Street in Troy. And today I will present you what we want to do with this location. And we'd like to put a building addition that will have 14 bedrooms. It's a dormitory for students use only. And first of all, for this project, we already have the infrastructure that's necessary to serve this new addition. There's water and sewer in the street, the road and sidewalk, and everything to develop this project. Secondly, it's zoned appropriately. It's zoned for dormitories. We plan on having students living close to the campus. Thirdly, Ms. Holzberger from Lansing Engineering did a TDMP for our project. We can see from this report that RPI provided a bunch of public transportations from campus to surrounding areas and local shopping center. And also they provided the transportation from the campus to the Amtrak train station, the Albany bus terminal, and Albany Airport during the school break. And also the CDTA provides 3 routes in and around campus. So students can take advantage of this public transportation. And furthermore, in Troy zoning code, it is encouraged to use public transportation and walkability in this area. And here's the, thank you.
Yep. Which slide would you like me to get, Linda?
Oh, not this one. Another point. No. Number 16, please. Oh, this is the TDMP report from Lansing Engineering. Next, please. In conclusions, that says the student don't need to have a car because there's a bunch of choices for public transportation. And next, please. Here's an analysis for the site plan. We made some minor adjustments.
Can you talk about those adjustments? Because this site plan came in really late.
Okay.
It didn't meet the deadline. So this site plan has some additional changes
according
from
to the zoning code, we will have to have 5 feet back setback. So we got some feedbacks and comments from the staff reports. So we made some adjustments accordingly. And this area is an open space. We like some green areas, and also we need here's a dumpster for this building. And we plan to have the planter and bushes around the dumpster, so it will not be seen from the sidewalk. And also because the dimension of this open space is about 28 feet by 28 feet. So there has enough space for the service trunk to do the job for this building.
Well, can you orient me a little bit there? Where is the street there? How is this building oriented?
Street would be over here.
Yeah, that's not 15th Street.
And where is the dumpster in that drawing? On the street. What does the X indicate?
Linda, could you please use the microphone? You can take it off of the pedestal.
I mean, this is 15th Street.
Yeah, this is 15th Street. This
Uh-huh.
is the driveway.
Yep.
And this is a dumpster
Uh-huh.
around by the planters and the bushes.
Yeah.
I
And
can't, what are you saying about the X is what I don't understand. What's the X?
The X, oh, this is because the dumpster should not be seen from outside.
Because that is green stuff?
No, it's, I think it's from aesthetically, it's better.
Sorry?
It looks nicer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, what is it?
Yeah.
Shrubbery? Is it, what is where that X is?
Oh. No, it's just, it cannot be seen from the
I
side.
mean, what is it that's blocking the view of the dumpsters?
It's the planters and the bushes.
Planters and bushes?
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
it's
okay, yeah.
landscape.
Uh-huh. But it's still on the street side, right?
It seems to me there's some confusion about, we're including the prior property, the neighboring property with this development as well. Is that what we're doing here? There's an existing,
Yeah, there's the existing.
and that has,
This part is an existing building, and this part is a
Right.
new addition.
right, okay. So when you're doing all your calculations, are you doing it based on the units, the new units or the combined units?
The new unit.
The new units only, okay.
So
And
I
next-
I don't understand. I don't understand how that's this. I mean, the addition is
Okay.
there, and then this building, is that the back addition connecting those two buildings? There it is.
Yeah, that's a rendering. We did the two set of plan. This one is with a more modern look.
Like,
Don't like it, yeah. Okay, next one. Night view.
so where your fence is in the front, with the three lights on top,
Microphone.
is that 15th Street in front of that?
Yeah, this way, this is 15th Street.
That's 15th Street.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how does your other, how is that other drawing that Eric had up before, number 16 or whatever it was? How, that wasn't 15th Street on,
Where's the dumpster in that picture though?
Oh,
tiny
it's
little
right
thing.
there.
That's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will be wheeled out? Is that what you're doing? Is this a pedestrian entrance here or is that an auto entrance?
Oh, I think, yeah,
That's
Uh,
pedestrian, right?
yeah. It's
So there's no
pedestrian.
access for a commercial company
Yeah,
to get to the dumpster where it's located, correct?
yes. We have to make some adjustment.
Now, when you calculated the dumpster and how many pickups you're gonna have, did you calculate it based on the 14 bedrooms or the combined units of, was it 20,
27.
26, 29?
Yeah, the combined unit.
29, count for 29 bedrooms.
Okay.
They have a lot of garbage in their rooms.
Okay.
Here's a floor plan. This is a basement. And this is the primary entrance and this is the open living space for the
Wait,
students.
That's, your entrance is in the basement? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
That can't qualify as a basement. It's not a basement.
okay.
It's the ground floor, right?
Yeah, it's a ground floor. Okay. And here is a small gym or a learning room. And in the ground floor, there's a 2-bedroom apartments. Yes, there's a 2-bedroom and the living space and the kitchen, and this one is similar. So there are 2-bedroom apartments in ground floor. Next.
Next.
And that's first floor.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah, no. Here's a lobby, and here's 2 1-bedroom apartments and 1 2-bedroom apartments and the studio. So it's 5 bedroom. And the second floor plan, it's a similar.
So where's the kitchen?
Oh, they all have a kitchen. This 1-bedroom, living room, kitchen. Now, here is another kitchen. And here's another kitchen. They all have their own kitchen.
Oh, I thought they were gonna be shared, so that's changed. I thought there was gonna be shared kitchens.
I thought that as well.
Because we did some research about we ask a student what they need. Nowadays, the students don't want to share with other kids. Sometimes they will have some conflicts. So on that ground, we provide the cleaning service. And also we provide more facilities, such as the kitchens, bathroom, so they don't have a share.
So your original plan was shared, now nothing is going to be shared. So you're gonna have a 2-bedroom apartment with
Yeah.
a bathroom and a kitchen,
Yeah,
all separate entrances for each.
yes, that will be much convenient.
How many
For
kitchens, how
students.
many kitchens in total, Linda? Would it be 29 kitchens? For each, or excuse me, I'm sorry.
You have 2-bedroom apartments.
You've got a couple
Yeah.
of 2-bedroom apartments, so somewhere 20 something is kitchens or
Let
kitchenettes.
me think. How many kitchens? 11 kitchens.
Okay.
11 kitchens for 29 bedrooms, is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
And there would be 11 bathrooms.
11 or more. 14 bathroom.
14
Yeah.
bathrooms.
So 11 kitchens for 29 units. So are some of them going to be 3-bedroom units or?
Because in the existing buildings, there are students who have a shared kitchen.
And they still will have shared kitchen?
Yes. And here's the elevations.
Want me to keep going?
Yeah.
So the two buildings are connected.
Yes.
Where's the dumpster we were talking about earlier?
That little box.
Right in that. Can you
Yeah.
put your?
This one is a dumpster.
Okay.
But that's going to have to be a wider entrance. Is that going to be a
Yes.
driveway then instead of a sidewalk?
Yeah.
You know, is exposing it more to the
Mm.
public. What's on the right of that slide? What's next? Is that a street next to this
No, it's a
building or
house.
is that another building?
It's another building,
house.
Yeah.
another house.
Another house. Yeah. So I thought. But the renderings are showing, it looks like an RPI building over there, doesn't it?
No, their house, it's pretty much
Is
residential.
the
isn't
property
it?
on this side, is that
Yes.
residence as well?
Yes.
Or is it student housing as
Oh,
well?
It's fraternity.
Fraternity.
Yeah, fraternity. Yeah.
It's a fraternity.
Yeah. For both sides.
But it's a big,
Definition of that is, but how it's
but it's an old building. I mean, it's like their two-story building now.
It's not that dissimilar to the old buildings, to the buildings that are there.
That's residential.
Yeah.
Next.
So they're not going to be required to have any parking? I mean, just because they're so close to everything and they don't need a car, doesn't mean they're not going to want or have a car.
I think we have the flexibility to have a few parking space, maybe 3 or 4 right in the front, but we have to balance, because if we have the parking space, then we don't have much more green space for students to use.
The existing building, how many people do you have living in the existing building now?
15.
There's 15 people in there.
Yes.
How many bedrooms?
Yeah, 15 bedrooms.
There's 15 people. Each person has their own bedroom.
Yes.
How many cars do they have?
Oh. Probably a few.
2.
Yeah.
So you're getting 14 more bedrooms and a few more cars, and they're all supposed to park
On the street?
on the street. Well, that's what the people on 15th Street were having a problem with last time, with taking up their parking. It's not, there's no way that some of these students are not going to have more cars.
Additional question. What is behind the property? Is there any, do we have anything that shows me that?
I think it's a field. It's it used to be a
It's like RPI's practice soccer fields.
Yeah,
There's no
soccer
alley
fields.
behind the
Yeah.
property, so there's no access to the back of these properties at all.
Correct.
Does fire have an issue with that at all?
They're here to speak on the proposal.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have no, Yes.
Is this your final elevation? I mean, is that what the building, you want the building to look like? Is,
We actually did second design.
that's your
Because-
second design?
No, this is the first. We actually have the second one because.
You do have another design?
Yeah, because we got the feedback from the staff report and from the community.
Okay, but we don't have that?
Yeah,
No, you guys, you have a deadline to submit stuff so that they can study the proposal. And a lot of this stuff that you submitted came in
late.
just at the end of last week. So they're not reviewing 2 sets of elevations. So that's why it's important to make sure that you have your intended design here on display. So if there's a second design you're intending to go with post the staff report, then you want to make sure that you have that design featured in the next submission of materials so that they can review that with a timely, response period.
okay, thank you. But I think first we would like to have some idea what it will looks like in our rendering.
Yes, but we're at your first official meeting, correct?
No, I think it's a second.
Well, the first meeting you had was a sketch plan concepts. And so today you are seeking determination of application completeness. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Or was this meant to be a sketch plan conference?
Oh, because we got feedback from the planning department about 2 weeks ago. So we did another set of design. I think it's acceptable, right? Because we respond positively from the
When you
comments
get
and
a staff
feedback.
report, that's essentially an analysis of the packet that you submitted. And that's the packet that you have to present on. If you make changes based on the staff report, that's fine, but they're not able to be submitted in the same time period. So those changes would be introduced at the following meeting. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. Does that make sense? Is it? Are you guys all understand?
I think we have to see more.
Yeah.
Can you, is there, it bothers me that that dumpster sitting there on 15th Street, and I know how these dumpsters work, and they'll be half closed, and there'll be boxes and crap hanging out of them and all that kind of stuff, and right on 15th Street. So is there any way to reconfigure your whole site there to get that away from 15th Street?
Okay, but there's some limitation because according to the zoning code, there's a 5 feet side setback. So it's hardly we can put the dumpster in the back of the building. So
Because you have no access to the back.
no, it's
What about down the side? I mean, I don't know how wide your lot is there and how wide your building is, but you could stretch the building or compress it so that there's access down the side. Then are you saying that you are required to have your building set back that far from the street?
that's we have made a lot of adjustments according to the feedback from the city. First, we proposed to build another new building. And then the city told us that we'd better do an addition, not instead of a new building. And
I
they
mean,
asked.
you propose to tear down that building and build a whole new structure?
No, because we have actually 2 lots.
Yeah.
So we proposed to build a new building, but we get feedback from
Separate
the
buildings and attaching the two.
departments. They told me we'd better do addition instead of a new building, and we'd better to move backwards.
Mhm.
So
Maybe
I
you're
think
trying to get too much on the lot might be an issue, you know? I don't know.
I think she's referencing Mr. Reeves's previous report that he issued in the workshop that was had with their former engineer that was on the project. There were discussions made about trying to avoid certain variances and things of that sort. So this, is the product of those discussions.
Mhm.
So the letter that Russ wrote in January of 2025 pertaining to the first building with all the violations in it, has any of those been cleared up?
So the violations in the existing building, I believe, have all been remediated. Though the conversion from a 2-family to the dorm essentially is why they're here now. They have to encompass the entire project as a dormitory.
okay. During this summer, we did the renovation for the existing building, and we also installed the sprinkler system and the fire alarm system according to the feedback from the fire department and the building department. So we already corrected.
Already what?
Corrected.
Yeah,
So has your wiring been corrected on
yeah,
the wiring has all been redone?
wiring, plumbing, everything. So it's a much safer building right now.
Okay.
Mm.
And somebody had referenced, I think at one of the meetings, that there was something in the attic, kids staying in the attic or something, or like,
Are you talking converted the attic?
yeah, hadn't they converted the attic before and that was not supposed to have been or something? Like,
I don't know.
No.
Is it there's a unit in the existing house in the attic space?
Yeah, that's after the renovation. We got permission from the building department. So it's all confirmed to the
So
building code.
you have an existing
Yeah.
certificate of occupancy for the 14 bedrooms that you have now?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
we do. And the next, please. Next. Yeah, this is the second design. We got the feedback and we think this set of designs will better match the surrounding buildings.
You have to submit one set of elevations. I have to
Okay.
consider this as a sketch plan conference.
Okay.
So I think they're gonna have to come back, obviously, here.
Yeah.
So that's it. I'm sorry. Sure. That's the same building with a peaked roof on it, right?
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
And the
Maybe some
next.
siding would help. I don't think there's any action we can take tonight on this, is there? Other than table it?
And we also did the rendering. So,
Yeah, you're looking at two different sets of designs here.
Yeah, so we have to officially get the second design.
That they have to come back with
Submitted.
They have to come back with one design
Right.
that they're steadfast on.
Right,
For
so
you guys to
Okay.
review.
it's kind of a confusing because we did this with modern look, but you told me you prefer that one with a gable roof, right? And so we did the second design, and you told me you have to choose one. But so I don't know which one is acceptable. I think it's both workable, but I'm so confused.
That's okay. When you come up with a design, we review that design. That's what you pay for the planning board to review.
Yes.
But having two different sets of designs is not applicable for determination of application completeness because you have to decide on which design. Now, if the staff report comes back and it says based on the design originally submitted that you require variances or, adjustments, then you would work with your design professional in order to get there for the second meeting. Or you would take whatever deviations from the design regulations that you'd need to conform to the code. So you have to, in short, you just kind of have to choose one design to go with. And then once the board has the opportunity to comment on that design, then you'd come back to us with some updates such as this. If that's what you ended up wanting to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So Linda, this design shows a driveway rather than a sidewalk and the dumpsters disappeared. Where would the dumpster be in this?
It's right here, behind this bushes.
Is that a wall there along the driveway?
Yeah, it's a planter retaining wall.
I understand, but
this would be now in this design, just, for feedback, right?
Yeah.
So is that a curb cut? Is that an access for an auto right now?
Access, this is the access for the existing.
No, for a
building.
car,
For
for.
the car.
it-
Oh, yes, this is the
But,
access for the.
so I guess the question is there a legal curb cut now that you could drive in to that property across the sidewalk?
There's actually, right now, there's a driveway.
There is a
So,
driveway.
Yeah, there is a driveway.
So there's an existing curb cut?
Yeah,
Okay.
next please.
So there's the building.
Well, this isn't a design that we can do anything with because it hasn't been submitted to.
Right, no, I understand that, but we could tell them that we prefer the second design.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so how do we resolve where we're at right now?
well, do we have to address the dumpster issue? Is it?
Well,
it's a
yeah,
violation,
maybe
is
this is a good point in the presentation. So I guess I'll just read right out of the book, but the placement of the dumpster is required to be on the side or the back, but the planning board can waive the requirements. So I'll just read the following. Chapter 285-66, garbage refuse storage areas. So all dumpsters, garbage cans, or other containers for refuse associated with non-residential uses and multifamily dwellings of 4 or more dwelling units shall be located in a side or rear yard enclosed by walls or opaque fencing when feasible. The planning commission or planning board in this instance shall determine the feasibility and may waive this requirement due to site constraints as part of site plan review. So
Actually, our neighbor puts a dumpster in front of the building because there's no other space. It's on 15th Street.
A dumpster.
The buildings are close together.
Well, I know, but that
Yeah.
means, you're trying to put too much on a lot is basically what that comes down to, right?
Okay, so we want to do the planters and the rekindling work to
Mhm.
block the dumpster.
Well, that looks a little better, but I think it's still gonna be very visible from 15th Street,
Okay.
and it won't be pleasant.
I think she's got it hidden pretty good.
Your new building looks like it has really two components. The left seems to be made of two living spaces essentially, and then there's a third one on the side, right? Is it, we got a floor plan, is there?
Yes, we have the floor.
What is it? Can you see?
Which floor do you-
I mean, can you make that building smaller is what I'm asking you and get the trash where it's supposed to be? Yeah, see that whole top
Second plan.
layer could be gone.
Do you own, so is the setback on the north side of the property? So to the top, right? How much room do you have on the north side of the property? Between you and the neighbor's property? You said 2 feet?
10 feet.
10 feet,
Yeah.
okay.
Is it 10 feet to the property line?
Uh,
I'm showing here 4 feet 1 inch.
9.8.
Okay, so I think my question was, from the edge of your building to your property line, how far is that? Is that the 4 feet you're talking about, Eric? Okay, all right.
Well, do you want to deal with that now or later?
I think I don't know what action we should take here other than, they gotta come back. and
Back in.
Let's look at it again and,
Maybe
they still have
we-
some staff
There's-
comments.
Eric mentioned that there's multiple different renderings, so they need to choose
Yeah.
what they want us to see. I don't think we should be trying to act on anything at this point because
No.
we've seen variations of different renderings. So I think they need to come back with a decision on what they want us to see, actually.
I agree with that, but I think maybe in fairness, if we should give some indication whether or not we're going to allow the dumpster to be in the front yard. Because if we're not, they're going to have to change a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're ready to address that question or not, but they should probably know the answer to that before they do too much more in design work.
Do you think that should be worked out in the department or the planning board?
No, I think that you guys have this jurisdiction. So.
Okay. To me, the question is, the frequency of the pickups. I mean, if you're picking up garbage 5 times a day, you need a small dumpster, wouldn't be a big deal, right? But she's got 29 bedrooms, and, if you're gonna have one pickup a week, obviously that's not enough.
Yeah.
You're
How
gonna
many-
have a problem.
So how many people do you think are going to occupy the 29 bedrooms? Are they allowed to have more than one person in a bedroom?
No,
You control that by lease or something?
yes.
Their friend can't come over and stay and produce trash?
I think there's a few solutions to this question. We can have a smaller dumpster and we will do the pickup maybe 3 times a week. I think that will solve this problem.
Yeah, more dumpsters are not going to be more attractive, they'll be less attractive.
No, she said more
Y-
pickups,
uh,
smaller
but-
dumpster, more
yeah.
pickups.
Yeah, small dumpster, small.
So
pickup.
what are you considering the size of that dumpster that you think is in the plan now? What size was that dumpster? Do you know?
I don't know exactly, but I think there's a dumpster in the in-campus apartment in RPI. So I think it's the same size.
No. we
The
don't know.
question, the existing, so right now, correct me if I'm wrong, you have 14 bedrooms
yes.
in the existing building.
Yeah.
What are they doing with their garbage?
We have roller garbage can. So they will collect the garbage once a week.
The city,
Yeah, the city.
So
Associated City pickup.
Yeah, I think it's enough. And not all the students cooking. Sometimes they just order pickups or they eat in the restaurant. So there will not be much garbage. Right now, there are about 14 students, and we have 3 roller garbage can.
You have 3 large garbage cans from the city and a recycling?
Yeah. 2, I think 2. Yeah, no, right now it's 2.
2 garbage, 1 recycling?
Yes, I think it,
'Cause
right
you have
now
to have-
it's
for a
enough.
2-story, you have to have 2 garbage cans.
Yeah.
Have to, is that by the number of units?
Yeah, I don't know how they handle it with
So that was
basically
a-
a dormitory, but.
Eric has pointed out that that was a two-family residence
Mhm.
before it was converted. It had been converted before without permits and without proper wiring and all that
So
stuff.
that's
It's in
why they only
violation.
have 2
But
garbage
it
cans.
may be it may still be being treated as a two-family by DPW,
Right.
by sanitation.
So
I don't know.
So there would be 2 wheeled
290 gallon
cans.
290
cans
gallons.
would go with a two-family unit, but
But
lots
if you
of
have
places.
14 bedrooms now,
But
it's that
I
aren't
understand that.
family.
And lots of places, for whatever reason, have more than one can sometimes. I don't know. Our sanitation men, if it's there, they pick it up.
Right, but
I'm not sure how they're operating now. We could ask.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
this
the
is,
cans, I can see it on Google Earth right now. I mean, of July 2025, so that's what's going on right
That
now.
was the CO issue.
Yeah.
14.
That's July's pretty recent.
When did you get your CO for 14 bedrooms?
I think it's by the end of August.
Okay, do you want to defer and wait till we see more?
yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a concern and
Yeah, I hope you
think on it.
look at that issue, because for me, it would be an issue.
Okay.
I don't know about the others, so.
Okay. We'll do some homework and we will come back with our solutions.
Mhm.
But by the way,
Maybe you can have a trash room on in the new building. You'd have to sacrifice some unit, but
okay.
But either way, you're gonna have to provide dumpster instead of using the city cans because of the number of units that are contiguous now.
Yeah.
And this is no longer a 2-family house. It's a dormitory, which is commercial.
Yeah.
And so therefore you have to have private collection and you may even have to have private collection on the existing property.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have, this is something you have to take seriously.
Okay.
okay? All right, thank you. So no action.
So
right?
I just want to know also we did some adjustment according to the preference of from all the departments. So,
Well, I'll give you a hint, and again, I don't know how the rest of the board feels. I think that's too modern for the neighborhood. I
Yes.
think that
Your
at least
sec-
putting a
your second
peak on it
plan.
makes it more acceptable to me, but
Yeah.
I don't know how everybody else
Yes,
feels.
I agree.
Make it look like it fits.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So you will work with the planning department and you get them what they need so they can get it to us and hopefully we can do something next meeting, okay?
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to still let the public speak?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry. Is there any member of the public here to speak on this proposal?
As long as they have it on.
I think they all left us. There we go.
Did you watch Sienna the other night? Hello, Elizabeth Rodriguez from 1986 15th Street. I live across the street from the property. I already sent some comments to you and mostly about the discrepancies in the plan and that we needed some clarity there. But I guess my overall comment is it's just too much. And I think that's why you see the garbage at the front of the house and some confusing images. Is a garbage truck going to drive into that patio and go in and turn around? Or is it really a patio with tables on it? I personally, I know some people in the neighborhood don't want to see that pressure on the neighborhood for more cars. I don't want to see parking in front of a building. That's also in our code to not park in front of a building. So I like that they took the parking away. It's too close to the north property line. They will need some sort of retaining wall or area well to build the building that close to the property line. So their renderings make it seem like it's greenery there, but there's a sidewalk.
You can take the mic over there with you if you'd like to. The fraternity is right here, and there's a sidewalk right here. So there's no tree, no shrubbery there like they're showing. And here they do indicate this retaining wall here because they're changing the grade. The property slopes up from the sidewalk. So they're flattening it out, putting this retaining wall. That doesn't show on their site plan. So I'd like to see plans that are more consistent, where the renderings and the site plans and the building plans all match up. I don't want to see the garbage up front. Perhaps a private pickup person would do cans and they could do the inside solution. That would be wonderful. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's basically, it's just too much. It's not a big site. They're trying to put too much into it. I don't want to see this remain a driveway. They can roll the cans out to the street like they do now. And there's already 15 people in this house. So do we really need 29 people on a 50-foot wide piece of property? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Anybody on Zoom?
Yes, I have a Zoom.
Fire department.
A minute.
Fire department.
Somebody's iPad. But actually, if on Zoom, if you don't mind just holding so that we can allow those that have attended in person to speak.
That's fine. Thank you. Good evening.
Hi.
Michael Bailey, Battalion Chief with the Troy Fire Department, speaking on behalf of the fire department. I spoke here previously. The last
You can
session,
pull
I
that
think-
up closer to you.
I think it was sometime last year. Our concern would be the same as it was last year, basically overall building safety. Other dormitories, if we're going to classify it as a dormitory, are required to have a building safety inspection every year. RPI does it on their own. They police themselves. Russell Sage polices themselves. This would basically be a dormitory with no teeth for us to be able to inspect it every year for building safety. We do multiple properties throughout the city. We do nursing homes and daycares. They're mandated by the Department of Health to have us come in and do a building safety inspection. The schools and the dorms, public schools are mandated by the Education Department, and RPI and Russell Sage they police themselves. They have fire and life safety departments that go through all their dorms yearly to check the things that we check when we go there. Egress doors, make it, however the sprinkler system is laid out, nothing hanging off of the sprinkler system, which happens a lot, which RPI polices weekly in their dormitories with, using them as hangers, because that lessens the flow and the broadcast of the water if there was a fire. As far as the setback goes, the fire department cannot require access all the way around the building. We don't love it. We don't like it. We don't like how far back it's pushed, but they're really in the fire code. There's nothing there that say, we have access to 3 sides of both buildings, which is adequate. Again, we like to be able to get to the back of the building, but when it's pushed back that far, we can't. Fire drills. The schools conduct fire drills. I conduct fire drills at nursing homes, believe it or not, and they do it. They're required to do it. Immobile people sometimes, assisted livings all have yearly fire drills. So we would like to have something in place if this does go through, that they are required to submit to this type of things if it's possible or feasible, or they agree to it, that we would be in yearly to conduct these type of inspections.
Can we make those kind of stipulations?
I don't know. Do you have agreements with other private facilities where?
I don't know of any other private dormitories in the city. I think that's our point. Right? Everything else has some sort of
education law or
correct
something like
some
that.
sort of mandate that allows us to get in there. A fire watch. If their alarm system goes down or the sprinkler system goes down, they would be required to post a fire watch, which we carry that paperwork, and somebody from the building responsible would have to agree in writing to conduct that fire watch while the alarm system is down. Places like RPI, they have staff that will do it.
So they would be if they have a sprinkler system, they've already installed one, I'm told, in the
Yes,
other building.
in the
So
original
they
building
would,
is.
so there is, I think state law requires that sprinkler system be certified every year.
Correct.
Correct. And so if it goes down, they either have to vacate the premises or immediately repair or install a fire watch. We would do it. I've seen where the fire department has done an agreement with a facility that the sprinkler was not repaired, and
that's what I'm
for a
talking
fire
about.
watch. Yeah.
Right, for a fire watch. But we don't, with this particular property, we're not sure who would do that. There's no staff. Is there local, somebody responsible, a representative from the owner would have to come in and stay there and conduct that fire watch while either one of those systems were down. We just want to make sure that there's mechanism in place if that comes up. And I realize it's going to be a new building, but sprinkler systems do malfunction, alarm systems malfunction. They go down for any number of reasons.
So a fire watch would be a person awake 3 people,
Correct.
24 hours a day.
Yes. You basically walk each floor every hour. You have another way to, you have a cell phone, you have a way to contact the fire department. We give them a set of instructions, they sign it, and then this is the fire watch they're on, and then they call when the system is back in service.
Right.
So we just want to make sure those mechanisms are there.
But many other residential structures in the city of Troy, I'm just doing a thought experiment here, but I mean, the facility, the one right here on King Street or something like that, it is sprinklered. And the ones up on 6th Avenue are sprinklered. If they go down, you don't inspect those. The city code department
right
gets a certification
and they're
every
not
year.
dormitories.
And they're not dormitories, but even so, if their sprinkler goes down, are they on fire watch too?
Yeah,
or-
somebody from whoever their maintenance people are, somebody representing the owner has to stay there while that system is down and conduct a fire watch, or they would have to vacate.
Why would this be different, I guess, in other words?
We just want to make sure we know who the staff is, if they're going to have
Okay,
staff, if they're going to
okay, I
have,
understand.
they're going to have a responsible person that would come and do that.
All right, there has to be some owner or owner's representative.
Correct. I believe that's all I have, except one point on the original building. The third floor is occupied space now, but it's been sprinkled. So it's sprinkled on all 3 floors.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here in the building that wants to speak to this application? Yes, thank you.
Good evening. My name's Donna Miller. I'm at 1994 15th Street. And I agree with very much with what Lisa has said and what you yourselves have pointed out as issues with the property. The congestion, the size of the building, the inappropriate presentation of the building. It just doesn't fit with the neighborhood. And those are my objections. And parking is a big issue.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else present in the building to speak? Okay, so we have someone
Yeah, go ahead on Zoom if you want to.
Good evening. Darren Scott, 1986 15th Street, right across the street from this property. So I want to start by saying thank you to the board for your comments, and then pivot to what may be moot, but I really question the decision on the zoning use. I disagree that it's institutional. Yes, 90% of the block is owned by RPI, and I think rightly should be zoned institutional. The block face that faces 15th Street is residential, and I would like it to remain that way in the character that it is. I also disagree with the zoning intensity. It's currently neighborhood 3. I think it should be neighborhood 2. So given those two things, I believe that we probably won't be here commenting on this project if it had been zoned properly. Again, it may be moot. But moving on to the proposal, I just want to add I want to agree that it's just too much program. 14 units was too much, and 28 units is way too much. I think the proposal is idealistic, not realistic. To think that, or to propose that nobody will have a car, it's just unrealistic. They're parking on the lawn right now. And I think that, once they get their approvals, there's not going to be any lawn furniture. There's going to be cars parked in front of this building. That's just the way things happen. I also am concerned about the amount of parking that's going to be on the street. I really don't think that the engineer's letter is realistic either. Students drive a couple blocks from where they live to park close to campus. That's just a fact. The neighborhood streets around the RPI campus are just flooded with cars on a daily basis. It's something that we knew when we bought the house and we put in a driveway because of that, because we couldn't find parking. And it's just going to be exacerbated by more cars because of all of these students living in this proposed project. I also think the dumpster situation is unrealistic in that whole design of that front yard. The dumpster is going to be much larger. I don't see how a truck is going to get in there and do the 3-point turn. Again, the front of this property is going to be taken up by cars, realistically. It just doesn't work. And I think it goes to what the board has already identified and the other speakers have identified, and that there's just too much program on this site. They're trying to design it to work like a Swiss watch, and it's not going to work like that in practicality. So in wrapping up, I want to say, there was no communication with the neighbors that I'm aware of. And we would have said that this is an inappropriately dense proposal. The approach has been incremental. First, 14 units went into a two-family house, and now we're looking at another 14 units. The overall impact is 28 units. And that's just too much. And I think the incremental approach is not genuine. And then lastly, I would encourage the applicant to purchase and fix up other properties in the neighborhood. There are properties that need fixing up. We could use more housing. We could use density, but it all doesn't have to be on one site. So I would encourage them to do that instead. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Is there another? No. Okay. Do we do secret tonight?
No, I think you have to table it so that they come back with a definitive design.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to table this project until further opportunity to review.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimously.
This is gonna be a long one.
2025-0049, 302 10th Street.
Hello, my name is Gina Kim. I am a member of Tiger Mama LLC, the applicant. I'm also the owner of the said building at 302 10th Street. I'm also a restaurant owner in downtown Troy. I've been there for 10 years now. And so we're presenting this new project to you. We had stood in front of the board, not I myself, but the other members at the last meeting in September. And so this would be our second instance. So we've made revisions and have voluntarily gone forward in presenting and producing a TDMP just because of the heavy traffic at the site. In terms of any questions of what the space is intended for, it's going to be a shared workspace for working parents and where they can bring their children along with them. So it is a very novel idea. It's not something that fits right into a single code, or it's not something that we see yet even in Troy, even though we have shared workspaces. So this is something, as working mothers ourselves, we're presenting a fresh perspective. I think there were some questions on what the intended use is and how it had been used previously by other tenants, but we want to make sure that we emphasize the fact that we're entirely new applicants. We're the first ones to even stand in front of the planning board, even though we do not have any proposed changes to the site. It's simply a change of use. Is to start a new business. Two of us, Lydia and myself, were existing business owners in Troy. We're present at the Troy Farmers Market. We live in Troy. We're very much invested into our communities. And so we're hoping that our track record can speak for itself in terms of how we will utilize the space and be mindful of the community that surrounds this open neighborhood. And so we've made, I'll let our architect talk a little bit more about the alterations to site plan to accommodate for parking and traffic. But when it comes to anything about the space and the intended use itself, I'm here to answer those questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Adam Patella. I'm the architect for the project. I was here in, I believe, September was our previous meeting.
Yes.
There's kind of a lot of, I would say, moving parts, and it's kind of a few kind of chicken and egg kind of situations. So I thought maybe the best way to kind of address these would be to just go through the staff recommendations on the provided comments, discuss how we've addressed these issues, and then open it up to be able to answer questions again about things that I think are less on paper, let's say, and those would be maybe more directed towards Gina and her team. So the first one would be to supply information for utilities in the application, the utility module on the application. This is in regards to the current water and sewage usage of the building. I've been trying at great length to speak to the DPW and the water department. It's been really a challenge to get a hold of anybody who can give me the correct answers, but we're certainly willing to pursue that. I would say right now the building has 2 bathrooms, and we would be supplementing them with additional bathrooms as required by the building code, depending on the actual occupant load, which is partially determined by the actual type of use of the building. But it wouldn't be a drastic, we wouldn't have all of a sudden 10 multi-user bathrooms or anything like that. There's currently 2 single-user bathrooms and 1 kitchenette, and we'd be adding 1 kitchenette and increasing potentially maybe 2 bathrooms at most. Identify business signage on the plan. We would be able to produce locations for business signage as well as the signage application process that's typical for anything else. It would likely be mounted on the building as far as I know, but we would go through the formal signage application process to be able to determine if there'd be a monument sign or just something on the building. Provide exterior lights. So Gina is telling me that they would use the existing monument sign. And, but again, I think what I'm trying to reiterate is that we would go through the proper channel through the city that you would use to apply for any regular kind of sign permit. Provide exterior lights and identify locations on plan. So we've added lights on the kind of connecting bridge between the 2 buildings, which is now being considered as 1 building. In addition, there are a number of lights on the building itself that if they are currently not operable, they would be repaired to be operable. There's at least 2 on the long side and 1 on the short side of the building that would be used by the tenants. And I believe there's a couple on the existing firehouse, but either way, any that are existing would be brought back to use if they're not working right now. Provide security cameras and register with the Troy Police Department. There would be an agreement in place between the owners and the police department on number of cameras and locations of the cameras. I think that's, I'm sorry. So there's already been some cameras installed. We be able to document that or get whatever kind of paperwork you need to be able to see that. Snow storage is not advised to be only at this location. This is referring to an original snow storage location, which was near a retaining wall on the 10th Street entrance. That has since been moved. It's a little hard to see in this PDF, but it's been moved from what was up here to more kind of closer to the building along this edge of the retaining wall. There's a comment about how it might jeopardize. Also, I love this microphone, how it would potentially jeopardize that parking space right there in the event of a snowstorm. We'd also be able to provide documentation of a snow removal contract so that if parking was lost, it would only be temporary. The drive aisle is only wide enough to be a 1-way. So we've since changed the traffic flow through the site to enter through off of 10th Street here, travel through the site, and then exit through Oakwood Terrace. This was in conjunction with Dan Hirschberg, who is the engineer who completed the TDMP. We would extend the curb to what he recommended to be 16 to 18 feet width instead of kind of like the probably 30 or foot so width that it is now. The 30 or so foot width promotes 2-way traffic. The narrower entrance would promote a 1-way kind of flow of traffic. This would also address another comment, which was if people were turning onto 10th Street, making right turns only, how would they return back to Hoosick? So instead, we are entering off of 10th Street and returning onto Hoosick Street.
Oh, wait, I'm confused. So your exit and Oakwood Terrace is a left turn only, correct? You can't make a right onto Hoosick?
From here.
So there's no light on Oakwood Terrace or anything, right?
Right. So you would make a right turn only onto
Right turn only
Hoosick.
on Hoosick.
Right.
Okay. So that would require, would that require new on Oakwood Terrace, new striping?
I'm not sure. It's currently a public street that cars are entering and exiting onto.
So if you're coming out of there, and how do I know that it's only a right turn?
I guess the
So all the traffic going through the site is now going to have to go this way. You can't go back out onto Oakwood Avenue? Yes, you can, right?
The issue or the questions that were being raised was if we're suddenly increasing traffic through this site, especially by removing the Hoosick
Right.
Street entrance,
Yep.
what happens when you need to make a left-hand turn, for instance, across 10th Street
Okay.
to exit the site? So what we've done is made it a one-way where you enter here and then exit the site here back onto Hoosick Street.
Okay, so I don't know anything about going in there. I get into the site, I want to leave. I want to go east on Hoosick. What do I do?
Yeah, I mean,
Take
I
a
guess you'd have to
bus?
make a right-hand turn. I mean, I don't think,
So if the only way out is to go north on Oakwood,
You have to loop around, yeah.
you're gonna have to go up, somehow go to St. Mary's Hospital, sit in the emergency room, whatever, come back down and wait for the light to make a left onto Hoosick.
yeah, I mean, this is the issue, right?
Yeah,
Where
there's no way to make a left.
there's no way to make a left and a right out of
There's no way to get on Hoosick.
out of this
East.
site at all, right? So that's kind of the problem, right? Is that Hoosick Street is kind of the animal that it is, the beast that it is at the moment, right? So we're
Sucks.
trying to, yeah, and also that we've got the entrance to the site is so close to 10th Street that it's hard to promote any sort of queuing up to
Yeah, you
get
get stacked.
out there as well. So I'll just continue through the list and maybe we can go back to this. Consider maintaining the curb cut on Hoosick Street and use a gate barring entrance and exit rather than raising the curb. So we're totally fine to not change the curb cut itself and either install a fence or like an on-demand use gate. The on-demand use gate, if that was the instance, would not be for like, well, at least I guess we could discuss it, but I would assume that it would not be appropriate for kind of continual use when you're entering and exit the site. It would only be for like a delivery or in the event of an emergency or like a special condition. It wouldn't be members using it as like a private gate or anything like that. And then the final comment was that the applicant to clarify what types of events they intend to use the space for. So I think that's something that Gina can address. There's a number of things within the TDMP kind of heading that I think have been superseded by the most recent TDMP and site plan, which was provided after this kind of round of comments were provided to us. Yeah, so I'm happy to give the mic to Gina for your questions, continue to talk about the traffic flow, whichever the board prefers.
Board members?
Yeah. I thought in September, we had asked if there was going to be any events at this space, and the answer was no.
Oh, I'd like to clarify what kind of events. It's not the 250 person club party that happened last year. And for that reason, we had to evict that tenant and went through very lengthy proceedings for that. We're very different. These events we're talking about are office parties, birthday parties, workshops, educational programming, different types of events really intended for the community. And we're in talks with Oakwood Community Center to work with them and the youth and the children that they are serving. And again, we're just moms. We're not trying to host large scale events that maximize the capacity of the building. We have a structure that's going to be anywhere from 600 to 800 square feet of indoor playground space, and then have work tables surrounding it, and really just using our own knowledge of what it's like to work with little ones at home.
Okay.
So, Rich, I have a question. So there's a catwalk connecting
Yes.
the two buildings.
Yes.
Does that constitute this thing as one building then?
That's what I'm reading in the staff report.
I disagreed from the beginning.
I mean, that's the whole reason we're here,
Okay.
right? Is because
What do you want?
separately, we do not exceed the threshold for site plan review for this project. But they're considered as one structure, so that puts us over the 10,000 square foot threshold.
Okay.
Because use-wise, it's an approved use, I believe, but because of the area, we require this review. Also, just to comment on the previous question about events, we did discuss events at the previous meeting, but they were similar to what Gina discussed. They were kind of not multi-hundred people parties. We discussed kind of member only or like semi-private events like birthday parties and things like that.
So is there a tenant in the other building now or?
No, they've also vacated
They
the
vacated,
firehouse,
so-
but the lease with Tiger Mama is just for the 7,000 warehouse portion.
Tiger Mama is going to be in that building
Correct.
alone. Do you have a future intended use for the other, the rest of the building, whatever we're calling it here?
And that I can speak as the owner. They just vacated. We're doing cleanup, just a lot of aftermath kind of things.
Okay.
But we are going to be very careful in our tenant selection moving forward. That's for sure.
Okay, so I guess I don't feel like I have an answer. Are we looking at the property as though this is one building, or are we looking at as though it's two buildings and different uses? I mean,
So right
I'm so
now, right
confused
now,
about
you're
that.
just looking at, I mean, what,
Yeah.
their proposed use of the
Right.
of the northernmost structure, I guess.
Right, but so activating the other building would cause concerns with the traffic patterns and the parking and the snow removal and the garbage and all that stuff.
I believe
If-
so, but
Right.
that's right now.
So would they have to come back?
Yes.
Okay.
Question about the parking. The last time you guys came before, and this was before we talked about reversing the flow of traffic. I think there were, if you come in off of Hoosick, you kind of go up a hill there. And there was 3, 4 spots, maybe parking spots up there. There were a few spots, right? What? Yeah, go ahead.
Are you referring to off of Oakwood Terrace?
Yeah.
Yep. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces there now.
So there, what are they? Because you're changing the traffic flow, are those going away or are they gonna?
No, there's I don't know, I want to say a 10-foot, if not 12-foot height discrepancy between them. There's a retaining wall there.
Okay.
So the entrance and exit would be right here.
I mean,
Oh.
if you want to speak.
I'm gonna do a duet after this.
Okay, so you did, I noticed that you did move the dumpster up to the back.
Yep.
Yep.
And another snow
Excuse me.
removal, I think, up there too.
Yep. So we altered the parking such that the dumpster and snow removal will be up on the corner of the space of the lot. That would also allow for kind of equipment and trucks like that to be able to do the turns that they need.
So Oakwood Terrace, is that one-way street? Is that a dead end? What does that go to once you?
You know, off the top of my head, I
Head
don't really know. It's like a glorified alley kind of thing. Let me
It's
just-
definitely two-way though.
Yeah.
It's two-way?
Yes.
Yeah, but even from the aerial view, you can't see like there's a building there. So when you get further north, it looks like it's got.
I mean, it kind of
No.
disintegrates into the Caliber Collision parking lot.
Yeah. I thought so, yeah.
It-
Where's the
yeah.
aerial view? I saw the aerial view somewhere.
I'd say it's an informal street. You know, to be honest, I'm not sure if one could turn right onto 10th Street and then right through the Caliber Collision parking lot.
Oh,
It's really almost
Yeah.
like a dead end and
I
yeah.
don't think you could get through collision.
It's not a
to Calvert.
throughway.
Yeah.
And currently, we've observed traffic patterns while being inside the building, and a lot of traffic from Hoosick, they'll come off and cut through to get on 10th Street. So that's been a very dangerous.
So they're cutting through your side.
Exactly. Yeah. So we feel that having the fence there is really important for the safety of.
So
Yeah.
Are they going through the existing curb cut? Or are they going through Oakwood Terrace?
No, they're going through both.
So they get
Yeah.
queued up by the red light and then they get frustrated and they drive through the existing site like
Wow,
this.
that's like.
But our plan is when we're closed, which is at 6 p.m., we're gonna,
Gate it.
or even chain off the exit ramp so that people can't go through.
I thought you were going to keep it closed most times except for like scheduled
The-
entrances.
The gate that would
Oh, no,
permanently
that's not
close
what
the
I'm
Hoosick
talking
Street
about.
entrance.
Yeah.
She's talking about, I think, just this.
The
this
exit
thing
ramp.
there.
Oh, the exit ramp to
To Oakwood,
Terrace.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
But the other one you're planning on fencing off.
Yes, correct.
Fencing off or the temporary use gate, if that's more appropriate for, emergency vehicles and things like that. I think that once the kind of, 25, 30-foot wide curb cut directly off of Hoosick Street is clearly no longer available to cars, I think that the option to use this as a through lot is going to be significantly decreased. I don't think people are going to be driving up Oakwood Terrace and all that kind of stuff.
I agree with that. There's two cuts too close to each other.
Mhm.
That's no. So on Oakwood Terrace, is there public parking on the street? Is there street parking on Oakwood Terrace?
I mean, I don't know that it's explicitly parking or no parking. Let me see if I can look. It's such an informal street. That's what makes this kind of a little bit challenging.
The only public parking that we've accounted for, that is accounted for in the TDMP, is the one off of 10th Street and other surrounding areas, but not on Oakwood Terrace.
Yeah, I don't think there's any public parking on Oakwood
There
Terrace.
isn't, yeah. And there's residential driveways and, yeah.
And you are going to, sorry, Chris. I read that Oakwood Community will give you parking if you need it.
Yes,
in
yes.
future or whatever.
Yeah, because they're in need of parking spaces for their evening programming, and then we're in need for the daytime. So we have a verbal agreement with Shauna Gomez, but we can have that on paper as well if needed.
Terrific. Okay.
What is the motivation of closing the Hoosick Street entrance?
The previously discussed.
That's the motivation to stop the cut through
Yeah,
traffic?
yeah.
It's also very hard to go in and out of Hoosick Street, even for the cars that are accessing the site.
Anything further?
So there's no problem with anybody if they just make that one way going in off of 10th and then coming off of Oakwood Terrace and having to take a right. So it's right turns off of both entrances and exits. So it's a right turn off of 10th. And it's a right turn off of Oakwood. So like you said, if they have to come, well, then they have, yeah.
They have to go up towards St. Mary's.
Or go
Turn
downtown,
around.
go to downtown Troy, yeah.
That's.
I mean, I'm not sure that there's.
Or they just go, instead of going out of, going out of Hoosick, you come up to Oakwood Terrace and you're, come down Hoosick and take a left.
I mean, there's no signage dictating which way you can or can't turn on Oakwood Terrace right now.
There is no sign?
No.
Well, that, the way
Might be
Hoosick,
advisable to get a sign.
yeah, right turn only.
I guess I'm just suggesting that we are exiting onto Oakwood Terrace, the street Oakwood Terrace, and then I guess technically speaking, you go wherever you want to go on Oakwood Terrace.
Off of Oakwood Terrace, yeah.
I think it's fair to consider, given that the Hoosick Street entrance is closing now, and, you know, Oakwood Terrace is, or your exit towards Oakwood Terrace is running parallel with Hoosick, right? So it's almost feels easier to go to the left for cars because they're facing that direction. Now they're gonna do a U-turn to take that right. So I think it should be discouraged, the left across the Hatchell aisle. I think that's a fair request for vehicle safety.
Yeah, we can put up signage for that. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way that somebody's gonna take a left off of Oakwood Terrace to go east. It's impossible.
They will try.
Oh, I'm sure they will. But they're gonna be sitting there a long time
They will
across
try.
3
Right.
aisles of traffic, because that's the turning, that's the turning lane.
I understand.
Yeah.
Maybe we
what
should
you're saying.
illuminate Hoosick Street instead of, look at it the other way, right?
I think what I'm trying to get at is that we can only put signage right on our property, I suppose. So we can certainly put signage that says when you turn on to Oakwood Terrace, you have to make a left or right only. I just don't know how we would be responsible for putting up signs on city property and things like that, especially on Hoosick Street. So
No, that's not true. I mean, all these projects commonly include improvements to the.
no, I'm
public
saying
right of way.
we're fine to agree to be part of that process. I just don't know how we provide. I just don't know how we do that. That's
So
all.
the city traffic engineer would be consulted, and
right,
he would agree or not, I guess, to a sign being placed there, perhaps at your expense. I don't know, because you're causing the increased traffic coming out of Oakwood Terrace.
Sure.
But the city engineer, the current traffic engineer is sitting here, so he can think it through.
we can chat. But it's also a DOT maintained roadway, so they may have a vote on there too. Which really does make me more concerned because we start, we approve something like this and then I get a call from DOT and they ask about it and why weren't we notified? Why isn't there a highway work permit? I think it's worth having a discussion with them.
Work your magic, Chris, work your magic.
Good relationship with DOT. All engineers, we're all friends with each other.
Anything further, folks?
What's your plan for fire truck access?
I mean, the one-way drive aisle allows the required width for a one-way. We have the right width for a one-way drive. So fire truck access would be as if it's any other one-way drive. We're happy to stripe it to prevent parking along the building if that's necessary. I think also the gate could be part of that solution as well. Thinking creatively, I'm not sure if there's a way to activate the gate based on the fire alarm going off or something like that. But I'm sure there's some way we could work that out.
Do our trucks fit under the Skyway?
I don't know.
I think we would have to know that.
Maybe.
I mean, what's the height of the Skyway? Is it like 13.6? Is it 13.6?
The clearance is written on there.
Yeah, I'm trying to look.
You think that was designed that way for the fire
No,
station?
no.
I mean, that's an existing condition.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It's
that
an
was already-
existing condition. I'm just saying right now, the entrance on Hoosick Street could accommodate a fire truck to have access to most of that northern building. But if the Skyway blocks it, then the fire department has only access to two sides, one either on Oakwood Terrace or maybe through.
So right now we have 13'6" clear under the bridge.
I mean, that's
like a bridge.
That we have a representative of the fire department here. I guess what will your biggest truck get under?
Three microphones?
13.6 is bridge.
Should be enough, right?
13.6 should be okay, but we just found out about this tonight. I guess we would just need more time to review it.
You need to look at it.
Yeah, we need to look at it better,
Does, say they reviewed it and there's no other solution than to go through Hoosick Street and, you don't want to pay for an automated gate system or they don't trust it. Is just leaving Hoosick open kill this project or affect your site plan in other ways?
No, we're open to that, and which is why I think we also had these ongoing discussions with the planning board, or not the planning department, and we thought this was the best solution. But we're fine with not paying for another gate at Hoosick.
Except for that, you have traffic going through your site, which
We'll just have
creates a
to-
liability issue.
It's just
and
more policing on
Somebody
our
wrecks a car in there.
Yeah. Mhm.
You got your hands full.
So we think this is the best alternative, considering all the different factors and considering the engineer's recommendations. I mean, it's just a tough spot. We really want to activate the space. Believe me, we want to see good activity at the spot. And traffic is going to be a problem. I think it will self-correct. If people don't find traffic to be an issue, they will not come. It's not going to work. Then we'll have to come up with a new idea. But we believe what we're trying to do, it's not going to have a big impact. We also want to serve people who are walking, who are taking buses. There's a bus stop right in front of the building. And so we really feel that the impact will be minimal. And if it is posing an issue, then we can't have any business in there.
Anything further? I have one more question. Yeah.
Is the building, the northern building, the one where you want to have the community, what are you calling it? A community
Work and
center?
play space.
Work and play space.
Yes.
Is that sprinkler?
Yes, it is. And it's a newer addition that was built in.
Yeah, I know
yeah.
it's newer, and
Yeah,
so that's why I thought it might be. The sprinkler system is active and.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, they have, I don't know who I asked, they have a sign, they're banners.
We took them
Sign-
down after, we didn't know that temporary mesh banners would pose an issue, but we took them down as soon as we became aware of that.
I'm done. Everybody done?
I'm good.
Okay, thank you. See if any member of the public wants to speak. Any member of the public here to speak on this?
You gotta say something.
Hello, guys. Steve Maples. I think this is a great project. I do think that the concerns, as a employee of the New York State DOT, I think like if we need to have those conversations, my colleagues in Region 1 could easily resolve a lot of these issues. But I honestly think as a transportation planner, I think what's recommended is by far the best idea. It solves the most problems. Is it completely without concerns? No, but like nothing is, so I actually think this is by far the best proposal for this space. That you could, when we're talking about traffic flows, you could turn right from Oakwood Terrace. You would still need to cross some lanes of traffic, but then you could turn left into Stewart's, turn around and start heading east. So there is creative solutions
Get
to
a
be
cup of
had.
Coffee.
Exactly.
So it's.
Buy a lot of tickets.
Exactly.
Then go to Brunswick.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
I'm
the interesting thing is that this is a really high traffic count location.
Yes.
Which in commercial real estate is what you're going for, right?
Absolutely.
But the bugaboos are like if you're doing a drugstore years ago, you would buy all the property, grade
yeah.
it, boom, create the traffic pattern you needed.
Exactly.
Make sure there's no stacking. You did that.
Exactly.
But that's not what we have. We have existing conditions and they're actually cool buildings.
Right.
And
I do think like this is the kind of thing that I think there's adequate parking. I think the TDMP, I have side thoughts about the quality of the TDMP, but I think it at least proves the point that like the demand here is not great. And it is, despite it being on Hoosick Street, which is a car sewer, there is lots of there's lots of neighborhoods that are walkable nearby. And I think that's the point, is to be catering to those folks. So,
so I didn't look at the traffic plan, but how many people are you going to have in here at any point in time? It's daytime, but.
Please. Do you want to answer that for me? Okay. I mean, so the numbers that we've been crunching to be sustainable is 50 to 75 children within an entire day. So they're not going to stay the whole day, but they'll stay maybe a couple hours. And then maybe 100 to 125 on the weekends. And so that was the estimated, or that's our hopeful projections to be in business.
The parking you're talking about right now is for staff and for moms.
Yeah, but when we're talking about, a lot of moms have more than one child with them, and that's what we're considering too. And again, not everyone's going to just be driving and parking there, but we want to be accessible to folks who are in the neighborhood, surrounding neighborhoods, and who are taking public transit as well.
So there's not going to be any children there that will not have their parents with them.
Correct. It's not a daycare. It is not. So that's why it's a little different. But we really want to try this, and we think the community needs it. We have a lot of young moms living in downtown Troy who are begging for it. We all, the three of us live in Troy, and we just think it's a service that we could provide. So we want to take this risk at this location, even though it is a high. We understand the high risk associated with it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Let's see. I guess it's up for us to approve it or table it.
This is official hearing on this project at this point, or?
We already have a complete application determination.
Right, so this was a
Secret.
scheduled hearing.
I understand it.
Sorry, it was.
Yeah.
I misspoke. Sorry,
You asked,
I misspoke. I told you it wasn't a public hearing.
okay. Well, I'd like to move to make a motion, go forward with final approval on this project.
Okay.
I second that motion.
Discussion on the motion? Got beat out there, Tony. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks.
Can we go?
It's 8:59. You're not gonna make it home in time.
Did you guys make a motion to end the meeting?
No, we want to.
We want to stay.
I gotta go see a basketball.
I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
I make a motion that we end this meeting of.
I second that motion.
Okay, yes.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All opposed?
Meeting adjourned.